A Star is Born. Again. Welcome to MsMojo, and today, we're counting down our picks for the top 10 things A Star is Born 2018 did better than the other versions. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're taking a look at ways the 2018 version of A Star is Born improved upon its Hollywood predecessors, released in 1937, 1954, and 1976. To analyze these films in depth, keep in mind we'll need to delve into a few spoilers. Number 10. Tighter pacing. On paper, every version of this story essentially follows the same formula, touching upon themes of love, loss, and the price of fame. Up until the latest interpretation, people generally agreed that the 1954 version, starring Judy Garland, told the story best.
No matter how much you love somebody, how do you live out the days?
If this classic film has one drawback, it lies in the pacing department. Originally premiering with a runtime of 182 minutes, the film was cut down to 154 minutes for its general release, and later restored at 176 minutes. In any case, each cut of the film feels overstuffed at times.
But you see how long it's taken me to get this far.
The 2018 version condenses just as much drama, passion, and heartbreak into a solid 135 minutes, demonstrating that sometimes less is more.
You ready?
Number 9. It's the most adult take on the story. Although they were released in 1937 and 1954, the first two iterations of A Star is Born still grappled with serious subjects, including addiction, troubled marriages, and even suicide.
Yes, it is tragic. It's very tragic. It was just an accident, of course.
The 1976 film was rated R for its depictions of sex and drug use, yet all three are fairly tame compared to the 2018 remake.
It's the first time I'm worried about you.
It isn't just the nudity and profanity, it's the fact that this version seems to have the best understanding of the real-world issues at the story's heart, pulling no punches. Its portrayal of substance abuse is especially genuine, which isn't surprising given director, star, and scriptwriter Bradley Cooper's own personal experiences with addiction early on in his career.
Because I wouldn't have been able to have access to myself or other people, or even been able to take in other people if I hadn't changed my life.
Number 8. Its male lead's breakdown. Every version of this story builds to a pinnacle moment where the female lead wins a precious award and the male lead interrupts her acceptance speech in a drunken outburst. The scene plays out a little differently in the 2018 version.
I'm sorry, baby, I can't find my place. They don't seem to have a place for me down here.
When Ally wins the Grammy for Best New Artist, a wasted Jackson follows her on stage, but he doesn't try to steal his wife's thunder or insult their peers. Rather, Jackson is so intoxicated that he urinates and collapses. While his actions are still inexcusable, Jackson's breakdown not only comes off as less forced here, but also more tragic.
I got one of those once for a best performance. They don't mean a thing. People get them every year. What I want's a special award, something nobody else can get. I want a statue for the worst performance of the year.
Instead of just empathizing with Ally, we feel for both her and Jackson.
Ain't it hard keeping it so hardcore?
Is that me?
That's you.
Number 7. More focus given to supporting players. A Star is Born has always been a tale of two lovers, and the 2018 film doesn't deviate from this tradition, with Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga both dominating the screen. Unlike the other versions though, this film leaves room for the secondary characters to shine. Sam Elliott, who's been in the business for nearly 50 years now, gives one of his best performances as Jackson's older brother.
It's the same story, told over and over. All any artist can offer the world is how they see those 12 notes.
We also get some welcome dramatic turns from actors better known for their comedic chops, including Dave Chappelle as Jackson's lifelong friend and Andrew Dice Clay as Ally's father. These supporting players bring even more emotional weight to the story, making for a true ensemble piece. Number 6. It represents its time period the best. The times may change, but showbiz more or less remains the same. Perhaps this is why A Star is Born has been successfully remade so many times. Even without drastically shaking up the story, each version feels unique, and that can be largely attributed to the different time periods. The 2018 film best encapsulates the era it's set in, getting the modern entertainment landscape down to a T. Since society in general has come a long way over the past few decades, the latest film was also more fleshed out in its portrayals of women in power, the LGBTQ+ community, and alcoholism. This version is thus timely for contemporary audiences and timeless for future generations. Number 5. The female lead's transformation. From the moment she meets Jackson in a drag bar, it becomes clear that Ally is going to be the most modern version of this character, named Esther in the previous films. Stacked up against Janet Gaynor, Judy Garland, and Barbra Streisand, Lady Gaga also goes through the most noticeable physical transformation.
Like, almost every single person that I've come in contact with in the music industry has told me that my nose is too big and that I won't make it.
Considering Gaga's eccentric reputation, she's almost unrecognizable when we first see her without any makeup. Of course, as Ally climbs the ladder of fame, her hair is dyed, her wardrobe becomes extravagant, and she turns into a regular pop princess. This puts a stronger emphasis on how Ally evolves throughout the film, as well as how her relationship with Jackson changes. Number 4. It has the best music. Believe it or not, the original 1937 film was not a musical. The 1954 version, on the other hand, is one of the most celebrated movie musicals of all time, featuring perennial songs like The Man That Got Away.
A one-man woman looking for the man that got away.
The 1976 film took a page from its predecessor, incorporating several hit songs, most notably the Oscar-winning Evergreen.
Ageless and ever.
2018's A Star Is Born is the most effective musical, however, as each song propels the narrative forward.
But look what I found. Somebody who loves me. Look what I found. Somebody who carry around.
Just listening to the film's soundtrack, it feels as if you're being told a story with songs like Shallow, Always Remember Us This Way, and I'll Never Love Again, all perfectly personifying what our main characters are experiencing.
Won't even let the sun in. No, I'll never love.
Number 3. A better backstory for its male lead. In the other versions of A Star Is Born, the female lead was typically the most three-dimensional and relatable character. In the 2018 remake, though, Jackson is every bit as interesting as Ally.
All right. There we go.
This is primarily because more time is dedicated to Jackson's roots, revealing that his mother died in childbirth, his father was a hard drinker, and his brother is the closest thing he ever had to a parental figure. This not only provides greater insight into why Jackson struggles with substance abuse, but also makes for a more complex character study. Although Frederick March, James Mason, and Chris Christopherson all turned in powerful performances, Cooper really takes the role to another level. Number 2. The male lead is more sympathetic.
Good evening.
One thing the male leads in these movies each have in common is that they all meet tragic fates. In the first 3 movies, however, the men are often narcissistic, jealous, and even abusive, making it harder to sympathize with them.
Johnny!
She wants an interview with you.
Jackson's poor behavior isn't so much a product of his ego as it is a side effect brought on by his history with alcoholism and mental health problems. Even when Jackson says hateful things to Ally, it's because he thinks she's squandering her potential as opposed to feeling emasculated by her success.
Here's what we're gonna do. You come sing that song that I love.
No, I can't do that.
Here we go.
It's not funny. Jack.
Look at me. All you gotta do is trust me.
While not perfect, the fact that Jackson is battling a disorder makes his actions more identifiable and poignant. Number 1. It's the most human version.
Hey,
What?
I just want to take another look at you.
The previous versions of A Star Is Born all had their fair share of melodramatic moments, especially the Streisand installment. Cooper could have veered into similar territory in his film, but instead turned in a brutally honest depiction of love, addiction, and stardom. Whether they're performing together on stage, flirting in a parking lot, or having an argument behind closed doors, the dynamic between Ally and Jackson couldn't be more authentic.
Can I tell you a secret?
I think you might be a songwriter.
But don't worry, I won't tell anybody. But I'm not very good at keeping secrets.
Gaga and Cooper shaped their characters into fully realized individuals, giving the film an at times almost voyeuristic feel. By taking a grittier, more grounded approach, the 2018 remake emerges as the most human interpretation of this classic story to date. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from MsMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.